where sports always matters. Sports Radio 610 WIP.
610 WIP, Howard Eskin and Ike Reese coming to you from the Borgata, and joining us now on the air, I'll put him in a bad spot here, the future number one quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles.
There you go.
Kevin Kolb. Well, you're going to be there someday. We just don't know when, right, Kevin?
Yeah, hopefully that's right.
You didn't say, you could say hopefully that's soon, because that's probably the way you feel. You know what?
Don't start putting words in his mouth.
No, we're not trying to trap you. I wouldn't do that to you. But the one thing that I got to believe is really tough, and you tell me how tough it is. You know how good you are. You've started all your career in every phase, every level of football until you came here. You know you're ready. How tough is it not to be able to be the quarterback?
It's tough. It's tough because I felt like last year was the best I've ever been. You know, I felt like I was prepared for the season. I trained hard in the off season. Even though I had an injury in the preseason, my other two games were pretty good. And then, of course, getting to play there early, and proving that I could do it. I wish I could have played last year. With that being said, it's going to be even, I'm going to wish it even more this year. So, it's tough, but I know it's an even harder situation for the Eagles. I mean, my gosh, there's three of us back there that can play, So I'm gonna keep their feelings in mind and try to remain positive no matter what happens.
How tough is it for you to kind of not walk up to the head coach's office one day and said, "Hey, Andy, when am I going to play?" How difficult is that for you?
It's not difficult because I would never do that to him. I mean, I know that he trusts my abilities. He knows he's confident in what I have to offer, and that's why he drafted me. That's why he stayed with me. I mean, last year it was probably very easy to ship me off somewhere else after not debuting very well against Baltimore. So, he stuck with me, and that showed a lot of confidence in me and for me. And so, I would never put him in that situation, and hopefully he'll just he'll continue to trust in me and put me out there when he thinks I'm ready.
Kevin, and I know this may be a tough question, but I'll ask it. In your mind, in the back of your mind, did you ever think, man, I need to go somewhere else because it doesn't look like I'm going to play here?
No, I never did. Only because of this, because I feel like I fit in this system so well. And not just the system, but the coaching staff and the players and the personnel all the way around. I mean, even on the other side of the building where, where the business side and all that. I just feel like our personalities really, really fit well together, and we work hard together. And I look forward to taking over this thing one day, and working with those guys. So I would never wish myself to be anywhere else.
I know quarterbacks around the league are pretty tight. Have you had a chance to talk to either an Aaron Rodgers or, say, a Matt Schaub? I played with Matt down in Atlanta, and Matt had to wait for 3 years behind Mike before he was moved over to Houston, and you see how his career has turned out. Have you had a chance to talk to anybody about, like, sort of what you're going through to sort of get their feeling on it?
No, I haven't yet. I would like to, and I probably need to reach out. The one person that I'm going to reach out to, after our Saints game, he came up to me and talked to me at the game, was Drew Brees, and I've always been a fan of his. He's a Texas boy, and I like the way he works and the way he handles himself. So he's somebody that I'm going to reach out to as soon as he gets off of the Ellen and Oprah show, long enough to take a phone call. But I like to learn from all those guys. I mean, they obviously have some wisdom that I can suck in, and I mean, it's going to be my own path. I'm going to have to do it my own way, but at least I can take something from their situations.
And Drew had to handle it sort of the opposite way because he was the guy that was already there who had Phillip Rivers drafted behind him, and he was moved out. So, yeah, I mean, I know, dude, as a player who wants an opportunity to get out there and prove what you can do, it's a tough situation because you are a guy that wants to be a team player as well.
Absolutely, and that's foremost. That's number one. But at the same time, you want to get out there and prove yourself and let your career take off.
Kevin, on ESPN, probably daily, because there's nothing else going on in the league. So it's Brett Favre, it's Donovan McNabb, and it's obviously you, Kevin Kolb. You have to watch ESPN. You just watch it once in a while, I'm sure. When you're watching all that stuff, do you have to roll your eyes sometime? It's just watching what they're trying to throw out there.
Yeah, you do, because there's so many things, and the crazy thing is, it's every 2 days it's something totally different, totally opposite end of the spectrum. And I really don't watch it. The problem is I have friends and family that do, and then they report it to me, and I wish they wouldn't do that. But it was going to Cleveland one like Tuesday, then Thursday was contract extension, and I just heard this morning a random guy told me that it was both of us are going to stay there in Philly. So, nobody knows until it's done, and that's the way I'm going to look at it. The thing that I have to do is I have to prepare just like I'm going to be the starter, because if I don't, and then I'm unprepared, and I'm not going to be ready. So I'm training hard already, and making sure that I'm ready to go if the bell rings.
Well, I don't think you need my advice, but here's what I'm going to tell you with the ESPN. One day, Sal Palantonio reports 4 teams have called the Eagles about Donovan McNabb. The next day, it's somebody about Kevin Kolb. Then the next day, it's, Donovan McNabb, and he's reporting on his own story that wasn't accurate in the first place, that Donovan McNabb and Kevin Kolb aren't going to be traded. So the moral of that story is, don't listen to a freaking thing that you see on ESPN. I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah, you definitely can't pay attention to those guys.